Wanted to discuss a player that is currently not in the fray right now, Nicolas Pepe. So obviously he's been out on loan. Was it to Rennes the past season?
No, Nice, I think.
Nice. Wow, I'm thinking of my man, Balogun.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. So let's discuss Pepe. Pepe's been on loan to Nice for the past season. Has not set the world alight there at all.
No.
Do I even say he's done all right? Like, I think it's below standard for someone of his ilk having a big transfer to Arsenal, coming to London and then being loaned back to the French league where he made his impact, and then you come across like a wet fart. Didn't really do much of anything. A couple goals here and there, but the output was less than he had done previously in France anyway. Apparently, he is back at Arsenal now officially as of just before this weekend. I believe he's back, reported back to the club. Look, we're looking for a right winger ultimately, as backup to Saka. It looks like Reece Nelson is staying.
Yeah.
But we have Pepe on our books as well. 70 million signing. Now, I'm sure as of the time of recording, he's our record club signing. Yeah. So he has all of that accolades and pressures to his name, which we know all about because no one can stop talking about it when it happened. Does Pepe get a second chance at Arsenal? Does Pepe get an opportunity to go again and be reintegrated into this first team where he's got one season left? Do you think the club are kind of looking at it as in Pepe is a good player, let's use him? He's costing 150k or something a week. Maybe we might not be able to offload him, or is it where it's Arsenal be like, no, get rid, just get him out? Do you think we use him in this last year or not?
I mean, I saw some stories saying that Arsenal prepared to terminate his contract if need be. But again, I didn't really look into the validity of that. And there's no, it's just that one tweet, that says it. So you're not really hearing it. Me personally, I think I'd love to give Pepe another go. I'd love to try and get him on board. Because even today, I was thinking about it before. And what I came across today, someone had retweeted, I think it was the 1920 season. He came second in player of the season.
It doesn't surprise me.
He had 16 goals and 6 assists.
Doesn't surprise me.
Bro, I just think, and I know you've said this so many times, privately, if we sign Pepe for 35, 40 M's, bro, he's we're not having these conversations. The pressure's not on him. He's not in the spotlight as much. It's the fact that, and it's probably due to my man, what was his name that came from Barca, the director of football, whatever his name was, or technical director, whatever the name is.
That came to Arsenal.
Yeah, he did the deal. I can't remember his name. And he got kicked out after because he's banging ACs or doing some nonsense. Or I can't remember his name. But the guy that was there before Edu. But I'm sure that was the reason why the price probably got inflated to 72 million, because it just, especially at that time, I know transfers have been out of this world for ages, but and because it's Arsenal as well, I just think for what he actually gave us, and we compare to players like we said, like a Sancho, like an Anthony, who have come for similar prices and not done half of what he did in his first season, in his second season, and still be, pushed out. I think obviously some of it is on Pepe in terms of maybe again, and maybe it's because it's stuff that I don't really care about, like the language, sort of body language, and it's the maybe not looking strong and all that stuff that maybe people just feel like he's a bit of a soft touch, but he produces. He's great on set pieces. At a point, I thought he was the best finisher in the club, hands down. And he's got goals. He comes up in the right positions. I just think if you could even get a little bit of that, proficiency in front of goal as a backup to Saka, and you could get him on board to be like, listen, we're back in the Champions League. We're in 4 trophies. We've got the Community Shield coming up. You know what I mean? Get him to, say, look, we want to mix you in there. We want you and Saka to be going head to head. I don't know what it means for other players, and I know we have to kind of take that into account, but I just think this is someone who we know can do it. He's going to be playing around better players. Maybe his head's not even been in it. It's very easy for people to just, and again, these lot are getting paid millions of pounds a month. You know, they just got other. Football's not their life. It's their day job, but it's not their life. So there's even other things to kind of delve yourself into when it's not going right there, like we all do with our jobs. But I just think it just feels like we've got a good player here. You know, for us to go out now and buy Rafinha, or you know, I heard about Notto from Leeds, or Maddison, and all these players that are nice and stuff. But again, you know, we're not a Manchester United, we're not a Chelsea. We should be trying to gain value from these players. So even if it's like, listen, let's give you a 3-year deal. Let's just see how it goes. If it doesn't work out, we'll sell you next season for whatever. You know, I don't know if that makes sense. You know, financially, I'm not in the boardroom, but I just think that there's quality there. It might not be upper echelon. I'm not saying start him over Saka, but if Saka needs a rest and Pepe starts, he's got the pacing behind. He is good one-on-one. Yeah, I know. What was the play we were linked with? Chiesa.
Federico Chiesa.
And Chiesa, I like that guy a lot. He's a one-on-one monster. But again, how much will that cost? Give him another go, mate. Give him another go.
So you would give him another go. Will Arsenal is what I'm really thinking. And as much as I as well would be open to them entertaining, giving him another chance, I think that they are done with him. I think that they wouldn't have loaned him out like when we needed him at that age. It's like we could have used him this past season, like you're saying, to give Saka. It's not like now you realize, oh, Saka needs a rest. Like, who was your plan for Saka's backup last season? Because I doubt it was Smith, not Smith, sorry. I doubt it was Nelson. With Nelson only had 1 year on his deal left as well. Like, I think they're more than anything. I think it's them getting rid of the old regime and the old players, and you know, no one that Arteta never signed him in it. So I'm sorry, that's not my dog. Like, and he might get rid of him like that. But like you're saying, I think there's a lot of upside. Let's have it right. Out of the players you mentioned, Pepe, Sancho, Anthony, he's better than all of these, man.
Havertz.
He's better. Well, we're gonna talk about that guy.
Yeah, actually,
he's better than all of these guys in terms of right wingers, the output and everything. You know, over the seasons and stuff like that. Like, he's dynamite and he's unpredictable, and you know, there is a lack of consistency issue there as well. But I think definitely, like, we give him a chance because we're gonna be going to the Champions League and FA Cup, and there's League Cups, and there's places where Saka does not need to play. Yeah, like he just doesn't need to play. He can be someone that can come in, step in, and just offer something different. Maybe in a time of need, and we need a goal or whatever the case is. Like, Nelson is fantastic as well, but Pepe is, you know, he's just technically superb, like really and truly on his day. Bruv, I was on Twitter yesterday and I saw some compilation, and I know these compilation vids always look amazing, but I just said, this guy played for Arsenal. Like, this guy still plays for Arsenal. We still own him. Like, I said, nah, there has to be a way to kind of bring him in, speak to him in the pre-season time, and just let him look. Like, you're not going to be starting. Saka's the main guy we're going to go with unless something drastically wrong happens. But there's place for you. There are matches for you. There's a role for you here. Same kind of conversation they would have maybe had with Trossard when they brought him in. He's got. We can't be in a position where we're going to buy another right winger this summer. Like, that would frustrate me when we got him here at least for another year if they don't want to renew the contract.
You know what, and I think, again, because we've spoken so heavily about and I'm not saying we shouldn't spend money, that's not what I'm saying, but we know what we're dealing with. The Cronkies have spent money, whether that's been self-made by Arsenal or they're dipping into their pocket. We have spent money. Pepe is an example of that. We spent peas. But if now we're thinking, you know what, we want Rice, we want Caicedo, but we're thinking, well, we need to sit Saka down. Why not get Pepe on board for one more season and just see what happens? We were saying this about Saliba, you know, just the season just gone now, that you know, maybe we should just cut ties and just get peace for him and move on. We won't ever see what he could have been for us, but that's sometimes better than seeing it and then losing him, you know? Why not just, we know what Pepe can do. Why not just have him, sit him down and then just use that money to reinvest in the midfield, you know, in other areas. You know, this is not, again, it's to no disrespect, it's not flipping, I don't want to disrespect any player, but, you know, this is not a lesser player coming back off loan. This is not a youth player or someone who's just turned, you know, in their early 20s, who's just come back from a productive loan. Now, even like when Smith Rowe went Huddersfield and Leipzig and all that stuff, like, this is not that. This is someone who's, I think, mid-20s, 25, 26, maybe even 27 now. You know, this is someone who, if you can get on board for one season and say, you know, and make some guarantees, some promises that, yeah, if you start playing well, you can get a run, you know, you can edge your way back in. But like you said, I don't see it, unfortunately. I think they will cut ties and they will go for somebody else. I mean, I think the fact that they did send him on loan, and it was probably because they didn't get any bids, and we were trying to get Rafinha, and there was somebody else, I can't remember. But that was the time.
Richarlison, innit?
Yeah, we were flirting with Richarlison as well. So it was like we were looking for someone to bring in to have that, you know, battle with Saka. But I just think this is the last season that we can allow that to happen with him. And I just think we've got someone there who, like for like, straight in, that he's got the technical ability. He can pass. He can shoot. He's not a slouch. You know, again, if you want to beef him up, you got you know, pre-season summer to let him gain on a couple kg, and he was never weak in the first place, in my opinion. You know, I think it's just his style. But I've seen him hold off guys, you know, and stuff like that. So
he's got good balance.
Yeah, bro. He's tall. He's rangy. Let me not even start talking too much, because it just makes sense. Like even in my FIFA career, bro, I didn't sell him when he came out. I didn't sell him. You know what I mean? I just feel like it's just very calm cover, and it's very hard to get that squad player balance right, where they've still got the quality that, you know what, if he played for 5-6 games, yes, you would miss Saka, but the drop off, what is that? Is it 10% or is it 50%? You know, I think the percentage would be a lot less. But yeah, you know, I'll tell you, he seems like a guy that once he's got it in his head, you know, come hell or high water, he's not changing his mind. So
well, I mean, that's the one thing I'd say. I'll back Arteta, whatever, because clearly he's done a good job so far, innit? But yeah, I just still think there's an opportunity there with Pepe. There's someone in there that could be just, again, you know, like Trossard was halfway through the season, just something we need at a certain time. But we'll have to wait and see.